Uh, Before I start, we were talking. I'm Ben Montgomery, by the way. I wrote for the Times Herald Record from 2001 to 2004, 2005, and now I'm at the St. Petersburg Times. We were talking earlier about these columns, and I'm really glad I took the task seriously of finding one that I liked, and I'm glad I did. A lot of this stuff, it was before I got to the record, and I'm not sure I was really familiar with Mike as a columnist. I knew him only as an editor. But these, we were having an exchange about these columns, Michael and I thought, I wish Mike were around so we could tell him how good these things are. So mine is Disaster Realizes Every Mother's Nightmare. Friday, November 17th, 1989. This was a few days, maybe the day after the tornado that struck the Coldenham Elementary School and knocked a wall into a bunch of students eating inside. And this is Mike's take. The mother's car is stuck in the long line of traffic and flashing lights and sirened police cars. Donna Ferguson of Rock Tavern cannot wait any longer. She gets out, bundles 3-year-old Kelly in her arms, puts 5-year-old Tiffany alongside of her, and begins to walk up the long hill. The school is almost a mile away, over the crest and out of sight. "Chris," she says softly, saying her son's name. Her mouth turns down and quivers as if crying, but no sound comes out. Her eyes are wildly vacant, beyond tears, turned inward to a terrible vision. There's no look like it in God's creation. This is a mother's face when she does not know if her child is dead or alive. Her legs march forward, little Kelly heavy on her chest. Tiffany chugs alongside. The sudden chill in the air slaps their faces red. An ambulance races up the hill ahead of her. The lips quiver again. "Jesus," says the mother. She catches the kids looking at her, and she tries to straighten out her face. It is no use. Her mind races to find a memory of Chris that morning. What did she say to him before he went off to school with this little GoBot lunchbox? What was the hug like? She cannot remember. Chris was always up for school. Such a little man, she thought, her oldest, 9 years old next week. The mother recognizes a man walking down the hill. "Lou, what's happening?" The man looks like he's trying to couch his words. "Something about a tornado," he says. "The cafeteria caved in. They're taking kids to St. Luke's." "Jesus Christ," moans the mother. Her legs keep working up the hill. Several mothers walk down the hill with their kids in tow. They walk down one side of the road. The mothers on the way up walk on the other side. They do not ask any more questions. You see it on their faces. Walking up that hill, every mother's child is dead. Now the mother sees East Coldenham Elementary School. The all-glass front of the building has been blown out, shattered and splattered into the cafeteria as children ate lunch. A tornado someone describes as looking like a black band had ripped it apart. "Jesus," says the mother. "Jesus Christ." Her head turns this way and that, everywhere at once. Where is Chris? Where is her son? Where? Through the mill of bodies and flashing lights, she sees Chris. He is standing on the side of the road, lunchbox at his side. She lets little Kelly down. Mouth open, arms out, she moves toward her son. She gathers him to her bosom and she holds him there, and at long last, tears roll down her face and cries leap from her mouth. Chris stands numb. He answers questions. He was taking a science quiz in room 115 just before his time for lunch. He looked out the window and saw the trees bend, and he heard the wind blow. Then he was out in the hall. Everyone was crying, he says, the kids and the teachers. He saw a friend of his lying in the hall, blood flowing out of her. The mother says she will take Chris home and hug him all day. Her son walks down the hill toward the car, head bowed. Down the hill in Coldenham, a pregnant mother walks into Tom's Deli with her sobbing 7-year-old daughter. A candy bar might make her feel better. "Calm down, dear," says Lisa Watkins softly from behind the counter. "Kimmy's dead," weeps the little girl. "Kimmy's dead." "Oh, maybe she's really okay," says Mrs. Watkins. "Maybe she's going to be fine." "No," cries the girl. "Her back was ripped open. I saw her. She's dead." Thankfully she was not. She and 18 others were injured. 7 of her schoolmates had died. In one terrible moment, all of the children of East Coldenham Elementary School had known something that would forever change them. A mother could not chase it away. The pregnant mother buys her 7-year-old girl a Kit Kat bar. The daughter keeps crying. Candy bars and hugs. That was all the power a mother had. Candy bars and hugs against the black band of death.